Hi there. Well, a couple of days ago, I wrote an email about avoidance, awareness, that sort of thing, and when you should be looking at getting out of a technique. Now, I'm going to reiterate some of the stuff I put in the email. If you imagine that from 0 to 100 is from the technique not being on to the technique being on in full, and that's it, you're done. If it's a choke, you're just about to pass out. If it's a lock, your limb is just about to be broken. There's little point in looking at escapes once it gets to 100. You're done. You need to be looking at the escapes on the way there from 0 to 95. Once it gets 95, 96, you're pretty much toast, and then if it's a sporting contest, you're okay, you can tap. If it's a real fight, you're not okay. So you've got to look at things from 0 to 95. Now, in a self-defense situation, that might mean just not being in the wrong place at the wrong time. True avoidance and awareness. Yeah. Silly little example. Are you going to walk down the street when there's somebody on the side there who looks a little bit dodgy, like this blithering idiot? Or are you going to walk down the street when there's somebody at the side looking a little bit dodgy, like this real great guy? Silly little example, but makes the point. You're catching things at 0. Another silly little example. Are you going to walk down the street and turn the corner like this moron? Or are you going to turn the street round the corner like this super cool guy who knows exactly what he's doing? Are you going to hang around in a confrontation that's just about to start a bit too long like this numpty? Or are you going to think to yourself, better stop this, like this cool guy? Now, there's some silly examples there just to make a point, but the point is very, very important. You've got to catch things early. For self-defense, it's better to be around that 0 mark at all times. You never ever want to be in a situation where you have to defend yourself. You want to always be avoiding stuff. You want to always be aware of what's going on. Now, the same translation of avoidance and awareness should take place all the way through that 0 to 95. You should be aware of what potentially could happen. You should be able to then work out ways to avoid that. Now, it might mean just bang them out. If it's a grappling match, you've got to be aware of what could happen as you move and transition and all those other things. There's a ton of stuff going on. But it's that avoidance and awareness that's the most important. Same with striking. If you're aware of what your opponent can do, their distance, their timing, their movement, where they are in relation to you, then you can avoid the strike. Now, obviously, we're all going to get hit. We're all going to make mistakes. But you need to learn from those. Like I said in the email the other day, when you go back to sparring, somebody hits you, don't just accept the fact that you've been hit. You need to be working out how and why you got hit at that particular moment in time. What had you done wrong and what did your opponent do right? And these little clips of a fight, these little bits of a fight are what we try to analyze as often as possible so that we can then reduce the chances of getting hit. as much as we possibly can. And at the same time, increase the chances of us being able to strike and land. Okay, so that's a little bit more information about what I mean by avoidance and awareness. It's not just for keeping out of trouble, it's avoidance and awareness of everything that you're doing all the way through. Hopefully you never get to that 95, 100, but hey, even monkeys fall out of trees. It does happen. But when it does happen, analyze it and work out why, so that hopefully it won't happen again. Thank you.